Good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you're watching this, whenever you're watching this. I appreciate you. So today we're actually doing a cooking video. I know this is different from what I usually do, but it's been pretty cold outside and I'm just not built for cold, and we'll leave it there. So today what we're doing is called Pomme boulangere or boulangere or something like that. I'm sure I'm completely botching that name and I apologize. But it's potatoes and onions basically. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is cut the tops and bottoms off of your onions and get them peeled. These onions were a little funky looking on the outside, so I peeled off the outermost layer, not just the skin, but the thicker outer layer, as you can see there. But if your onions are fine, you do not need to do this. And then we're going to start cutting the onions very thin. I cheated and used a mandolin, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can just cut them thinly with a knife. Once you've got your onions all cut nice and thin, you're going to heat up a pan, put a little bit of olive oil in there. And I'm a big butter fan, so I added a couple knobs of butter in there with the olive oil. And that piece was giving me a mess. There we go. And then you add your onions in. And you're going to put it on high heat at first until you see a little bit of brown, and then cut it all the way down to probably a little bit below medium, and just let them cook off, let them caramelize. You don't really need to do too much, you just let them cook. And at the very end, when they were basically already caramelized, I added a nice little spoon of some minced garlic. And then I did off camera chop my potatoes, because that would have been really boring, but you slice them really thin. So get your baking pan, whatever one you're going to use, line the bottom with some chicken stock, and then put your potatoes in. More butter. Gotta have that butter. Another load of chicken stock there. And you're going to want to either use salted butter or put little, bits of salt between each layer. I used unsalted butter and I forgot to add salt. But then after your second layer of potatoes, you're going to add those caramelized onions in the middle. A little bit more chicken stock on top of that. Well, I'm using bone broth here actually, so whatever your favorite is. Then you're going to put more potatoes on top of that. More chicken stock. And then top it off with a little more butter. Yes, this recipe requires a lot of butter. Now you're going to want to make a cartouche. It's basically just a fancy word for, a vegetable paper top that you can put on something. It's not really that fancy, but it's got a cool name, cartouche. Anyway, so you get that nice and sealed, get your oven heated to 355, slap that in there for 45 minutes. And after your 45 minutes, and you can see I have a little bit of a wardrobe change there, don't mind that. Peel your top off, set your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then put it right back in. And it should come out nice golden brown, beautiful Pomme boulangere. Again, I'm probably completely destroying that name, but look at that. And I have to tell you, even without the salt, this was amazing. It is a great side dish. We actually had chicken sausages with sauerkraut and all the good stuff with potato dish, but I can tell you this one is worth the time. If you've got the time, check it out. Good stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, and we will see you guys in the next one.